Hails guys, I'm Metalore and you're watching TBT, and today we present to you cartoons. Along with our guest host Tanner Poppitt from Madrost and Julian from Ink Bombers.
Woo!
Okay guys, so there's a reason we got you guys, obviously.
Mr. I'm a cartoon already.
Mr. Tanner Poppitt is a big fan of
Just erase me, yeah, you can erase me.
is a big fan of cartoons. And Mr. Julian over here, as you guys can see the artwork behind me,
Ta-da!
Ink Bombers.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think about cartoons through the ages? We started off with the 1930s and 1960s with the Golden Age, with Warner Brothers, with Mel Blanc, Man of a Thousand Voices. Do you think that cartoons nowadays had less quality than the 1930s through 1960s, or better quality, more substance?
I think it was better back then, to be honest, because you were able to get a lot. You were able to get away with a lot more than you could now. You weren't as
That's
politically correct, so like a good old Tex Avery cartoon.
Yeah, you can be
You had like the wolf and the redhead. You couldn't have that today.
No.
You couldn't have that today. So cartoons were way better back then. Way better.
Everything was a little bit more racist. Everything was a little bit more
edgy
raunchy,
too, yeah.
violent.
It was more free. You know, people had a sense of humor back then.
They also drew too. They don't draw nowadays.
Yeah, well now it's all like
There was
computer
actually pencil
graphics.
involved.
Yeah,
that
like
sucks.
like
So
Family Guy.
with quality comes less creativity, I guess. So
I don't remember any of
so yes and no to answer your question.
I don't remember anything back then, but I started watching when it was like Beavis and Butthead and Two Stupid Dogs, Rocko's Modern Life.
That's my favorite show. Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
Doug and Rugrats.
Doug, yes.
Our Real
Rugrats.
Monsters.
Real
Old
Monsters.
Nicktoons.
Yeah, the old Nickelodeon
Hey
too.
Arnold and
Hey
stuff
Arnold,
like that.
yeah.
So,
That's when I can remember, and those were great cartoons.
yeah, I was in like grade school.
Yeah, me too.
when
And
that
all
came out.
that, and Doug and Pork Chop and
Pokemon. I guess you could say Pokemon.
Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z.
I love Dragon Ball
I
Z.
still don't really like Dragon Ball Z.
Really?
That's okay.
What? Ah.
Off the panel.
It's a
I was
different
talking about
kind
this
of
earlier.
cartoon.
It's the Lord of the Rings of cartoons.
Yep.
They just walk and walk, and then do some more
That's
walking,
actually a really good way to.
and then something
A
happens,
fight.
and then they start walking again.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Sometimes
there-
one entire episode was just to discuss
it was
what was happening. Oh no, is it coming? Is it coming now? I don't know.
And then it was like, stay tuned, because Will Goku. That's why I never got into it. But overall, like the whole the universe of Dragon Ball Z was pretty dope.
And the
Ed
storyline
and
behind
Eddie.
it.
I gotta
man.
mention that one. Ed and Eddie rules too.
Ed and Eddie. I didn't even remember Ed and
Oh,
Eddie.
and,
That's right. That's right.
Pinky
See,
and the
I
Brain.
like crappy
my
made
favorite.
cartoons, but because they're awesome.
Pinky and the Brain.
I like
Ren and
cartoons.
Stimpy.
I like cartoons with
Vaca y
flaws
Pollito?
in it.
Vaca y Pollito. What was it here?
Chicken and cow.
Cow and chicken.
Cow and chicken. Cow and
Cow and
chicken.
Yeah, I like cartoons with flaws in it. So I feel today they don't have flaws.
It gave it
It's all
character.
corporate stuff. So it's.
It really did. It
I
gave
love
it
the
character.
violence and I guess the strange humor. I think that's what did it for me. I think that's why I still love and watch them today, because I'm equally strange and violent.
What about cartoons nowadays? I don't even watch as
Are
much.
there still cartoons?
But
I don't
yeah,
watch.
I just
watch.
SpongeBob, which is
Okay,
not
that's
really
a '90s cartoon.
old,
Too.
yeah.
It's by whatever.
But like
But
Rescue
SpongeBob.
Heroes, Nano Boy,
I don't know any of those.
I don't know. any of
Just-
them.
I don't know
Justice
any
League
of them.
Unlimited.
Besides Adventure Time, because Adventure Time is
Oh,
edgy.
what is that though?
That's
With
the
the
only
weird little
one. That's the only
arms.
one I
What
like.
is that?
I still don't get this though. I mean, the usual Saturday morning cartoons you find today are very politically correct, very corporate, like you were
Totally.
Yes,
saying.
Yeah.
yes.
But then you have stuff that's on Cartoon Network, and I don't
Adult Swim,
understand
dude.
what the fuck is going
Right?
on.
That's why it's
Right?
awesome. That's
It's like
why
you're tripping on acid. I am not sure. I'm not sure what happened from Space Ghost to
It went like
Adventure
cartoons on
Time.
drugs.
Yeah.
Space Ghost.
Yeah, Space Ghost, Coast to Coast, that was dope. But
Dexter's
for my
Lab.
personal taste, I used to like, the old school Warner Brothers, old school Disney cartoons.
Yeah,
Right.
But then you get stuff
Like
today
YouTube
when
and stuff.
it is like an acid trip on the TV screen, and for me, I'm like, I have no
And
idea.
what's happening? What?
I don't get it,
What
so
the fuck is happening?
I tune out. I don't watch it anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Cartoons
I think they just
I
don't
used to watch all
understand
those
how to give
in
kids.
Spanish.
Yeah, the translated. Yeah.
We have two
They have their own conversation going on.
Yeah, we're having our own conversation over
And
here.
I was just thinking in my head of Metalocalypse.
Metalocalypse?
Yeah,
Metalocalypse.
It's okay.
With
That's just
Jeff
okay.
Clark?
The
It
first
was.
season-
It was
the
so
first
much
season
better.
was
That's what I was
awesome.
gonna say. The first season was epic, and then it just kind of went.
Well, it's because it was like all blood and gory and stuff, and now it's
It just
not.
turned
It's
into
corporate, dude.
a stupid
so, you know,
parody.
it's
I don't know. Like I'm a big fan of South Park.
Oh well, that's
And
they
I'm a
still
big
do what
fan
they
of-
want though. It's still edgy. It's still funny.
But for
Like,
instance,
that's
right now,
why-
I was gonna go on what Julian said. Like for instance, Family Guy.
Oh,
It
I
is
love that
funny,
show.
but then in
Random.
some points, it's really like an acid trip. Like I like the chicken fight or whatever, but then there's
Well, the new
complete
episodes-
freaking episodes
Well,
of
the
just
new episodes are god awful. I can't see
Yeah,
the new episodes.
the new
because there's
episodes
a
are
storyline. There's
bad.
not like funny things anymore. It's
Yeah,
a story.
it's not
I don't
as
want
good
story.
anymore.
I want funny.
I love right now Bob's Burgers.
Oh,
I
I
think
don't
it's
find that show funny.
hilarious.
I tried watching it for 15 minutes. I could not
No.
get one laugh.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
can't-
God.
Or Archer. I can't do Archer either.
I
Archer
haven't
was
seen
pretty
Archer.
good.
Archer?
I did like
I know
Archer
it's the same
on,
voice.
on FX. It was
Yeah, it's
pretty
the
good.
same voice.
that a
I couldn't
cartoon?
get into it.
Bob's
But
Burgers.
Futurama rules. I still watch that.
Oh, of
I-
Oh, Futurama.
If you consider that new.
The Simpsons suck
It
now.
still has the Simpsons. Well, the
I love the
Simpsons went
Simpsons.
to.
I still they
Simpsons
think they
rules.
did.
They're
I
just
don't
trying
think
But that's
to
like
survive.
Family Guy too. I like
not.
the old Family Guy.
Yeah,
'Cause
American
it's
Dad.
edgy, so it's funny.
So those are the new cartoons: American Dad, Cleveland Show.
Yeah,
I don't
Seth
watch any of
MacFarlane
those.
did really good with
I
bringing
still
back
watch TV.
comedy within animation
Yes.
for an audience that
That's
everyone
right.
can really enjoy. It was what The Simpsons did back in the early 90s.
Yeah.
It was really pushy, it was really edgy.
That's
so
why I
people
love
were
it.
initially drawn to it.
It gave us real world matters. It
Yeah.
made it presentable. That
Yeah,
way.
and it made it funny.
Yes.
And Seth MacFarlane was able to do that with what Matt Groening did with The Simpsons.
Simpsons.
But the sad thing is eventually if Seth MacFarlane doesn't, push the boundary of what Family Guy can
Not
do,
anymore.
Yeah.
it's gonna
they're not anymore.
it's gonna outstay its welcome, like Simpsons did. Like
Like
Simpsons,
oversaturated
They're-
stuff. Yeah.
Another rule for me of cartoons is they can't grow up or die because it's a cartoon. So like Rugrats, they did like
Oh,
they
yeah,
like,
when they
grown
grow
up
up.
Rugrat. I was like,
I didn't
what
even
is
watch
that?
it.
No, I
refused to.
couldn't.
No,
Freaked
I
me
wouldn't
out.
watch it.
I couldn't even do it.
refused.
That's like a rule. You can't
Yeah.
do that, man.
True that.
No.
It's not cool.
Yeah, I couldn't get into it either. I
No.
couldn't even
You
get into the
lose the
Rugrats when Dill
surrealism.
was on it. So
Oh yeah, Dill. That was the end of Rugrats for me.
like
For
the
that
first
very
movie
reason.
was good.
You don't have characters that are timeless anymore.
yeah.
No.
Bugs Bunny, timeless. Mickey Mouse,
Oh, yeah.
timeless. They
Daffy
don't
Duck.
How,
age.
where
Yeah.
did those go? Like,
That's the
kids,
beauty in what
kids
they
now
do.
can still.
They still
reference
kind of
them.
venture into it.
They
Like
still
Mickey Mouse
live.
is still relevant. Like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. They're still relevant in some form or another.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have characters today that
Well,
can
besides
carry on
Beavis
that.
and
That can
Butthead.
carry
No.
on. Yes.
Besides Beavis and Butthead and the South Park guys.
There hasn't
Yeah.
been that
No,
infiltration of
I'm
pop
gonna have to
culture.
I'm gonna say disagree because South Park and Beavis and Butthead within the next 15, 20 years will only live on within cult status. But they won't be
That's
Bugs
where we are,
Bunny.
though.
True.
That's where we are, though.
But Bugs Bunny, I guess,
Bugs
lives
Bugs
like
Bunny,
overall.
Mickey
I
Mouse,
guess.
one of the most identifiable characters in the world.
Well, SpongeBob, come on. You don't think
Not-
SpongeBob's gonna live on?
I
for
think
like
so. I
50
actually think
years?
Space.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think
Maybe.
everybody's gonna love SpongeBob.
Do you remember Space Jam? Sorry, I love
Oh
Space
God,
Jam.
I love
I
Space
thought it
Jam,
was
dude.
funny. I was like, Space Jam was
Yeah.
awesome.
Space Jam, yeah.
That's what they
Oh
need
my
to do.
They're just timeless characters, and you don't have characters like that anymore.
Well, we also need more creativity because nowadays also the shows on like Nickelodeon and stuff, they're being more real. Like remember all that, Keenan and Kel, but that was at one point. And now it's like iCarly, all these shows like little girls I see don't
Crap.
watch cartoons anymore though.
no.
They watch more like human teenagers, sex, life, boyfriends, like
It's just a
Victorious.
generation
It's really
gap.
weird.
We
That's
live
also
in a
MTV
generation
and stuff,
that
too.
wants
That's-
immediate satisfaction.
Yeah.
So, way back when, snail mail was like the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
But now, you
remember
send a
that.
text message, it's immediate satisfaction. So not only is that within the technology realm, but it's also starting to bridge out
Yeah.
into the way we live our lives. So these kids, they don't want cartoons, they want real life
They wanna
experiences
grow-
because
yeah,
they're
right.
immediate.
Isn't it weird, though, that in the
Everything's
90s
fast now.
there was a sort of cartoon renaissance, and, now you say that kids need immediate satisfaction. Well, didn't kids receive immediate satisfaction in the 90s with these shows like Animaniacs that were actually trying to teach them about the
No,
countries?
yeah,
but
was
that
at the
wasn't
time
that,
I
that was still
actually-
teaching. It wasn't satisfaction. Like what I see him meaning is like also like in Beavis and Butthead, you see them and they're
Hilarity.
chilling and they're listening to music and they're going. And now all the cartoons are telling you like money, business, like iCarly, these things, get famous, do
Yeah.
it fast, get
Technology,
there,
yeah,
grow
spotlight.
up, boyfriends, dress this way. They weren't telling you that. We were telling like, oh, chill, listen to music,
And
do this,
because
play
you
guitar.
were able to select when you want to watch it, what you want
Oh,
to
yeah.
watch.
Right.
Whereas with
Online.
like after school cartoon programs,
Yeah,
like,
I
you
actually
got
had to
home,
wait
you had
till
to
after
catch your
school
programs.
to watch.
And then if you missed it, you're like,
Yeah, and if
shit,
I
I
miss it-
missed it.
And then the only way to
Right?
keep it is you put a VHS in and you'd have to tape it that way. That was
Hell
the
yeah.
only way.
Hell yeah.
So
But
it's all corporate.
Yeah,
when
that's
corporate gets
unfortunate.
involved, it makes it all shitty.
It all has
Makes
a
it-
schedule. It all has a plan.
Yeah, it's
and
stale.
I don't
now.
like it.
It's not as like flavorful.
Yeah.
I think.
And even with one little thing that's edgy, there's the moms rising up
Yeah,
and being like, that's not
exactly.
good for our children, and you're like,
It's
Really?
stifling imagination
And they're-
rather than
yeah, it's
promoting
not
it.
imagination, not creativity. You're telling them to think
Yeah,
inside the
it
box.
goes back to what it was back in the 1930s, what made cartoons so good.
Exactly.
People just had a sense of humor. People just knew how
Yeah,
to laugh.
we
Now-
don't
Now
anymore.
everyone's
No?
so
No, we
desensitized
do
to
not.
it. Watch it.
We can't like talk
One
about
episode.
We can't make fun of something cultural. Like that makes us who we are. It's okay to laugh. Like then they're trying to censor comedians in every which way. It's like how can you censor comedy if it was meant to make fun of tragedy?
Yeah.
That's what it works. That's why it's cartoons.
I also don't think kids want cartoons. I think they just want reality shows.
Oh yeah, they
So,
do.
Like all the MTV stuff, that's why they don't really play music. So it's
Yeah.
not really music television.
It's
more
just
like
all television.
reality television. That's what it is.
But,
Like,
okay,
but that's what kids watch.
Because nowadays,
So they don't watch cartoons. They would rather watch some real people,
dude, when I
with
was
the storyline,
Yeah.
get into the same things that a cartoon would. In my opinion, I would rather watch cartoons.
Me too, when
because
I-
they're not real, and reality shows aren't real. In my opinion,
and
they're
plus,
all scripted.
like I remember that the first thing I ever wanted to be when I was little, my mom asked me. I said I wanted to be a Ninja Turtle, and now nowadays everyone's like, "What do you want to be?" I want to be Lady Gaga. I want to be this. I want to be that. It's like there's no more.
There's no more fun. There's
Yeah.
no more. There's
Well,
no
it's
more.
all-
of
I
that.
want to be rich, and it's like, oh fuck, man.
Yeah,
It
so
sucks.
the childhood imagination and purity of that wonderment when you're a kid
Yeah.
is slowly just starting to just
Vanish.
evaporate. Yeah.
Right.
And it's sad. It's sad because they'll never get able to experience the excitement of literally running home so
Yeah.
you can like
Well,
get
yeah,
inside
that was
in time
but
to
that
put
was the
the
only
TV
time I
on.
was ever inside, though. So
Yeah.
I used to actually play outside too, which nobody
We used to
does.
play when we were
We used
young.
to play dog fighting.
There wasn't iPhones
Yeah.
or all those stuff.
Yeah, we didn't have that,
No.
so I had to rely on my brain, to go outside and
entertain myself.
entertain myself. Yeah, that's what it was. Like,
Yeah.
and that's
Me
why cartoons did that. They, made my imagination, I guess.
You wanted to play pretend.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
I love playing pretend.
Like that's basically what it is. It's all connected somehow. We'll figure it out. But yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a good thing about children's programming, and especially with cartoons, that they were able to slip in that kind of like
Yeah.
connection without being too blatant about it. That's why the Magic School Bus had a
Oh,
culturally
Magic School
diverse
Bus.
classroom.
Yeah.
Captain Planet.
All the Captain Planet
Captain Planet,
Planeteers,
yeah.
they all had someone, from a
And they all had one of
From a
every
different
race.
culture.
yeah.
You notice.
They're also culturally diverse, and you didn't really pick up on that. You just kind of accepted it. That's what
Yeah,
it was.
well,
So you went back
we
into
should
life.
accept- as
That's
you should
positive,
accept it.
though.
Yeah, it was a great thing that they slipped in,
Mm-hmm.
but nowadays they kind of confront it so blatantly that it's kind of like they're getting all Full House on me. I don't like this.
Yes. Wow.
They also don't deal with like key issues though too, because I remember Hey Arnold was like the show where like
Dealt with bullying.
they actually dealt with
Yeah.
real stuff that
Yeah.
actually happens.
Yes,
Like,
it
it's-
really did. That was.
But
a good,
but they put a spin on it. So that you had two different kinds of cartoons, I guess. You had ones that dealt with real stuff, and then you had cartoons that dealt with stuff that like was your imagination.
more
Yeah.
surreal.
Also,
more
Doug.
dark.
Doug really like.
So it was you had. He's telling us to wrap it up, but yeah. So you had two things. You had two separate things of cartoons, which was awesome.
Absolutely. So I guess we can't really get to a conclusion except that we were kind of, a little better back then. Of course, I guess all generations
were
say that,
exceptionally
but we
better
miss
back
cartoons. That's the point.
I miss real cartoons.
I miss.
Yeah, we missed early cartoons. We really enjoyed what they were and what they stood for, and so promo plug. And check us out, inkbombers.com. Get all the info on that.
That's awesome. Again, I was gonna actually thank you guys for being a part of
Thank you very much
TBT,
again for having
sitting with us. Anything you want to add, Mr. Tanner? Any?
Nothing. I just got a lot of shows. I'm
Pretty
looking
fucking
forward
famous.
to it. So. No. But
No.
I appreciate you having me on and
Oh, thank
stuff.
you.
And,
Thank you.
See,
Thank you for loving
That-
cartoons.
it's a real cartoon, right there, ladies and
Sexy.
gentlemen, right there. So,
Heifer from
if
Rocco's
you do not
Modern
know who
Life.
that is, go look him up.
Yes, go look them up.
So.
And Julian, thank you so much. We will
Oh, thanks for
definitely
having us.
be there. We want to support all this art and all the work that you guys do. So thank you again so
Yeah,
much for
thank
being
you so
here.
much. Thank you.
Water bottle.
Thank you guys for watching. This was Roxy Burial, Miss Elizabeth Gore, Tanner Poppitt, Julian from Ink Bombers. I'm Metal Lore, and we'll see you next time.
Shazam!